Another Yu-Gi-Oh video. So today we're actually going to be playing Fur Hires. So the deck is really cool, and I just want to show you guys what it does. Basically, all the little Fur Hires summon each other out from the hand, and then you get into Folgo, which basically draws you 3 cards every turn when something's destroyed, and you have a bunch of hand traps to back it up. I think the deck is really cool, and it's all little cute animals, which I just think is fantastic. So I'll get back to you guys when we're at the game. Things. Use miscellaneous stories, which I forget, which I go playing for hire. Let me swoop this up. So we're actually playing for hire versus dinos, and what I like what this game shows, because it shows that for hire can actually play through a lot with very little. Mostly helped by the rookie for hire and mayhem for hire spell cards, which are both quick plays, so you can use them during your opponent's turn. But this actually shows that off really well. So let's get started. Let's start the replay. I figured I'll do replays from now on because it's easier to. It takes less time for everything to go on, and you don't have to listen to me thinking. And I think that's just better. So he's just going through the normal Dino stuff. He's going extending, doing all the baby Ceratosaurus things. He used miscellaneous Saurus, which I forget, which I go spell, and then I realize, oh, he missed, and then I'm like, damn. Uh Whatever. And then everything, then he goes into the scrap line, then he goes into Karibo, then he goes scrap wyvern, he brings back scrap raptor, distributes that scrap raptor for another scrap raptor, because why wouldn't you? And then he goes into everything, then he gallant granites for a copy of the nemesis card that gets the mist back into deck, which I think is really cool. And then the Naturia beast comes out, and Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, and then the Giant Rex. Then he goes for a copy of Dagda and Tornado Dragon, which he doesn't end up using for the rest of the game. But that just confuses me. I forget he has Naturia Beast and Shooter Prior Prosperity. And then I summon Dompa. And this is actually a really cool way to play it through Naturia Beast, because Dompa, after the special summon, triggers, and it doesn't matter if he's flipped face down, the effect still goes off. So I get rid of the Naturia Beast. And then Rookie for Hire actually doesn't need a monster on to be face up on the field to be able to go into the next one. Which is really cool, because then we use Beats Effect to get Rex, and Rex searches another Mayhem for Hire for next turn. Then we go into Donner just to get into rotation. Then go into Folgo, summon out a Rafale for next turn, and my plan is to get back the Dompo with the Mayhem and then use the Rex effect to trigger to get it. But unfortunately, he does have Called by the Grave, which just sucks. He called by our Rex, which is just sad, and now we don't have a way to trigger the Dompa, which just gives us an mercy. But fortunately, all the dinos activate by destroying cards, so we still get the draw 3. We draw 1 Ash, which doesn't really do all that much. We get to do that, and then negate his Ultimate Conductor, but unfortunately, Rafale doesn't destroy it, which means that he can just attack everything and deal a bunch of damage, so I surrender. And okay, guys, so this next game is actually versus Sprite, which he plays an engine that I'm not really familiar with, which is the Pendulum engine, which I think is actually really cool. I saw in this game that just lets him do a bunch of extending just for free. I thought that the monkey board would be a good in-perm target, but it turns out it wasn't. So what happens is he just goes to the Sprite, he goes Sprint, sends the Angler to Grave to get 2 Beavers, which is just, I guess, classic Sprite now that Sprint is a thing. Then he goes into that thing, summons the Ibly, which is just rough, because I can't do anything against Ibly, especially once he does the next play that he's going to do. He summons Melfi of the Forest and then searches this trap, which just basically lets him pop a card, which means that I can't get rid of this Ibly with IP Masquerena or anything. So he just bounces back my my thing, and then it's just whatever. Not much I can do here, right? And it's kind of rough, kind of rough as hell. So then he just goes through the motions, summons a bunch of stuff, bounces back the Ibly to his hand. I actually didn't catch that during my game. I thought he destroyed it. But then he goes into a bunch of stuff just to get a bunch of attack, and fortunately, I actually get to survive with 800 life points, and I can actually. This would have been what I would have been able to do on turn 2, but unfortunately, he did the Ibly stuff. But now we can actually do stuff. And so I summon the Philo off of the beat. He does whatever to summon that thing, which just is very unfortunate because that means I can't use my extra deck. So that does, and then he ashes my Rex, which was really unfortunate. But fortunately, I do have this Duelist Worm, which lets me beat over some of his stuff, and then go into Donner, and that lets me trigger Philo, which then he bounces this thing, which was fortunate because I have the 1-for-1 to go into Folgo and send his elf. But unfortunately, that's where the turn ends. I do have Rex and Graves, so when I get the chance, I do fire it off, just to get the draw 3 and hopefully open some hand traps that I didn't need. But unfortunately, with the Mannequin Cat, he did summon back the DD Crow, which means he can attack into it with his big boy monster and just kill me outright. Unfortunately, that is the way I lose. And then on to the second game, which is here. In this game, he opens up and plays evenly matched. So he does imperm our first thing, but fortunately, it shows off that some people do misplay and imperm before you actually activate the effect. That means you can activate it later on in the turn, which means I get to go full combo, which is into Donner to get her out, tribute that. I did that for some reason just because I messed up and sent the wrong thing to the graveyard. But then we end on the classic board with a hand trap in hand. He summons that, I pop it, which is the end of his turn, fortunately. And then he evenly clears, doesn't draw into anything, and surrenders. And yeah, unfortunately, I didn't catch the whole replay of game 3 because I didn't know how to do that. But that shows how the deck plays, how it interacts with the meta. It can hold up to the meta just because of the draw 3 advantage and all the hand traps you can draw into, as well as the Bisted stuff just being flat out broken. I would play more Bisted stuff if I had it. Maybe instead of DD Crows, play more of these, just because they're DD Crow's good for sure. But I think just having the ability to go into more dragon monsters, which the only dragon monster you have is Rex, so they can go into Folgo and they can just help you clear things off the board where they couldn't otherwise, because the for hires are all kind of weenies except for the big ones that are hard to get out. And yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this you'd try it out because it's actually really fun and it does do pretty well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, maybe subscribe, and if you want, ring the notification bell for my videos. I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a great day.